You
You
know
know what
how
is that?
badass Tom Cruise was in this film? Like, I fucking was watching this, and throughout the entire film, I'm just like, he's so cool. He's so
I
cool.
was gonna say the same thing.
He's
He's so
so
cool,
cool.
cool. And funny thing is though, like it's Val Kilmer in the original movie True Romance. He's the one who said the two though. He's the coolest guy I know.
Well, here we are. Back with an Oscar-themed movie, Top Gun Maverick. 36 years in the making, the sequel. If you watched the first one and died, and you couldn't watch the second one, I apologize. The second one is better than the first one.
I haven't seen the first one.
Oh, you
And
haven't seen the first one?
but you know what? I was gonna be like, okay, should I have to watch the first one or not? But but you know what? Like I think I've heard someone who had watched it before me, and he said that you don't have to watch the first one. So I'm like, okay, I trust your decision. And I think the main core of the first one is kind of mentioned in the second one. Like everything you need to know about the first one is already mentioned.
Okay. Well, to give you a brief rundown about the first one, uh, basically the guy dies, co-pilot dies of Tom Cruise's character, and then now his son's coming in, and there's that historic thing. So
But it mentions that in the movie, right? So in the movie that we're talking about,
yeah,
Maverick,
exactly it does.
everything that you need to know why there's a detention and who they were, they've already mentioned. They use clips from the old movie to tell us why this is that.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, I don't think it's essential to watch that first one, but I'm going to begin this this with this movie. I'm just gonna say one thing, and that is Hans Zimmer. I feel like you can you can have a mediocre film, throw in a Hans Zimmer soundtrack in there, a musical score from Hans Zimmer, and it's a phenomenal film.
Well, this was a phenomenal film. Like, well, first of all, it's made for the IMAX, so they need to kind of if you're someone says I want to watch it again, well, make sure that you contact your local theater and be like, hey, listen, can you get this movie on IMAX so I can go watch it? Because you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Like,
I will
so
say this: if you love action films, this is like a wet dream for
it was,
action film fans. This is a movie you fucking need to watch.
yeah, this is like the perfect amount and the right amount of action. Like,
Let's
it's
go.
like,
Let's go through that first. The opening shot of him hitting Mach 10, which is pretty insane, right?
it's insane, yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know all these facts, but I don't think that anyone has ever achieved that in real life. I think not even close.
I wouldn't know, but I
But
might,
I'll look into it after.
but my desire to be a pilot did go up after watching that movie. Like,
Absolutely.
so
Do
you
you
know
know
what
how
is that?
badass Tom Cruise was in this film? Like, I fucking was watching this, and throughout the entire film, I'm just like, he's so cool. He's so
I
cool.
was gonna say the same thing.
He's
He's so
so
cool,
cool.
cool. And funny thing is though, like it's Val Kilmer in the original movie True Romance. He's the one who said the two though. You're the coolest guy I know.
Val Kilmer.
Um,
Yeah,
how do you?
I love that opening scene of like the Mach 10 and him going in the restaurant after, and the kids. Yeah, it's a good opening start, and
But even in that scene though, when you want to deliver cold lines, a cold, emotionless line, you need Ed Harris for that.
what? Which
Like
cold line? Which one are you talking about?
Ed Harris, like because he had like firm, like, what are you guys doing? Start, like he's just so firm and like just like to the point, doesn't want to hear no BS. Ed Harris
Yeah,
is the perfect guy for that.
Ed Harris is really good for that. I think he's one of my underrated. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if he's underrated, but he deserves a lot of love as well.
He has a very strong presence in every because he just seems like a very strong person, like a character wise, and he
Yes.
just in movies he just has a very strong commanding presence.
Yes. Yeah.
And even this one though, when he comes out, stands there, you know it's freaking Ed Harris who's not unfazed by the
Yeah.
launch of this project. But
I was watching that when you were watching this film. Did you just go throughout the Connelly scenes and then skip the rest? Because if you did, I don't blame you.
I've always made a joke that because she's been in movies for a while though. I'm like, yo, her is like Jennifer Connelly is basically like wakes up, goes to the studio. The makeup is like, you know what? You don't need makeup. Just go in there, get on the set. You're fine.
Everybody
Like,
needs makeup, sir.
but no, she's obviously, it's good that he brought her back. She been in? She's not been in a lot of movies
I think she has.
recently. She has,
I
okay.
think she has. I think she has. So this film was nominated for 6 Oscars. So I mean, most of them are within Best Picture, but it's also in like editing, sound effects, sound, and all that stuff. Um, I think this film did an amazing job in keeping me entertained. It just fucking kept going and going, which a lot of the movies we have discussed
Yeah.
on this podcast are usually ones that are keeping
The pace of the movie is
yeah.
just well structured. And I say when we think pace, it's like it depends on the theme of the movie. Because this is a very like a high octane movie, like it's just gonna get you like more amped up and they kept a very good pace though. They kept it to the point. They like I think it's the simplicity and the focus of the movie that they never deviate from. Like
Yeah.
there are sub stories in there, but they don't waste too much time on that because they you're not there for them. And I think like they understand why you're here. Like here you go, here it is.
Yeah, and the mission was very intriguing, like this mission is like near impossible, so you're like, oh fuck, right away you're like, shit, can they do this? We get a sense that like can't be done. You got to do it in 3 minutes. You got to fly under the radar. This is fucking impossible. Now I was watching it and I was saying to myself, okay, I can totally see this being the case where these kids can't fucking do it. The old man has to come in and do it in Tom Cruise. That was predictable, but it's still really cool and to see that happen, and they did a good job.
To be fair, they made that like he had the legitimate in like on battlefield action experience, right? So it kind of made sense that you guys are really good, but here's someone who's actually done it in a real life situation. How do we apply it to the real world?
Yes.
So yeah, man, it's good stuff when they presented it. But one thing is like the propaganda, like obviously typical American military movies, is that hey, you get to do this, do that, and you get to come home alive. Like dying, that's for the enemy. Like that's when like the veterans come back and like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But
um,
anyways,
yeah, he came back with a different intention, which was to teach, right? And he's like, no, I don't want to teach, but I guess, all right, cool.
because he has so much pressure. How do you have Val Kilmer in a movie and not speak in it?
So I watched the film and then I found out afterwards that he actually has throat cancer.
In real life?
Yeah, he has throat cancer in real life, and he actually can't speak in real life. Or I don't know if he's a little bit better now, but throughout the film, when they were shooting the film, he was unable to speak. So the voice in the film is AI generated, and I don't know how well he's recovering, but he does have throat cancer, and he's had it for 7 years now or something. So
Wow, I did not know. I didn't know why he wasn't in movies, but that's sad to know.
at the time when I was watching the film, I didn't kind of understand what was going on, but yeah, no, like he is suffering from stuff, so he has a very small role. And Tom Cruise
And
was very insistent and played a key role in having him in this film. I think he didn't want to do it. He wanted Val Kilmer to come back and reprise his role.
and I was gonna say like, how do you have a movie with Val Kilmer and not let him speak? But I was like, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes, yeah. I was looking into it after. I did some research and I noticed that I had no idea as well. Um, but yeah, the I think what stood out, what I really loved was seeing the flight scenes and the sequences and the action, because I'm sure I'm gonna double check here, but I'm pretty sure it's nominated for best editing. And I think what made those scenes so good, those action flight scenes, is the editing, the quick cuts in between planes or the faces, and just the sound mixing.
Mm-hmm.
You can have good scenes, but if you don't edit them well, I think that's where the editing really shows, and it
Yeah,
well deserved. It was really, really one of the best action films in terms of flying and guns and bombs.
you know what I really like though, because when it comes to like having you this like entertaining that action the whole time, is that the drama within it. I know we kind of touched upon it. There is some drama in there, right? There's a little conflict. There's a lot of like like um, there are some like minor issues in the background though, but it doesn't really impact like the main like it doesn't slow down, right? We talked about pace already though, but like there is some small dramas in there. There is like this connection between these different characters coming together and what some of the, like every movie there's a climax and what's going to happen now. But I just felt like it's like there isn't I love how it didn't really cause much of a hiccup. They just kept you at a same pace the whole, like a very smooth pace the whole time. And you don't, because usually in every movie when the climax hits, that's when it's expected that kind of the pace of the movie would kind of change and everything, right? But it was just everything just felt so much more quicker, like it just.
And it helps to have a strong conflict between the two main people, the two main characters. Miles Teller, which he's in the top of the. This is really good. He's a really good actor. Him coming with Tom Cruise, having that little altercation where when I watch films, I don't try to predict what's going to happen next. A lot of people watch films and they think 30 minutes ahead of the film. Oh, like what's going to happen? Is he going to do this, that, that? I don't watch movies like that. The way I watch films is I take in the very second that's happening and what's happened, with trying my best not to think what's going to happen forward. So as I was watching the scene where Rooster is flying back, I'm just like, when Tom Cruise saves his ass, he's flying back. I'm like, GG. Tom Cruise, you're a goat, man. You saved him. Now he's dying, but you saved him. He's gone. And then you just see him come back. I'm like, fuck. I didn't expect it. I guess I don't know if you expected it, but
um I think it's not about trying to predict what's going to happen, but it's more so of like pattern that you can kind of expect in a movie.
yeah, because
um
because like I just said, or like a couple minutes ago, that I did predict that Tom Cruise was gonna kind of fill in that mission. In that sense, I did think forward,
the
but
pattern, right? Yeah.
yeah, I don't fall for that too often, but for that specific moment, I did. But I just loved their confrontation. Obviously they have a lot of history together because of his dad, and they meshed really well. They meshed really well together, and good writing too. But the conflict was very engaging, and just helped it go. The reason why the pace is so good is because, like, there's this conflict that's moving it forward, and it's very, very juicy.
And I think I like what you said though, because you're saying that you didn't expect Rooster to come back though, because there are two things that can happen though, because if he was to die, if he wasn't to die, it wouldn't, like, in a certain, like, whatever path the movie took, it would, like, sometimes in movies it doesn't make sense. Like, oh, like, like, oh, he's not gonna die now, he's the hero, right? So you don't expect, so you already know it's not gonna happen. But I guess in your case, because you didn't expect this, because whether he didn't come back or whether he didn't, it would have made sense. right? Because he
Yes.
could have died and everything. Just like so. Yeah, it either or option was a good option to end it because the what the lead up had led to and what they did in the meantime and everything.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
I think that them doing it that way was the better because it goes against the character, right? It goes completely
yeah.
against his character. Here's a character who's kind of nervous. He doesn't know
He's a
if he
very
can do
safe,
it. Very
he's a
safe.
very safe. Yeah,
He usually follows orders, usually, I think. And and that's why you don't expect it because he's not the one to kind of go into. Well, he just seemed very weak. He seemed very timid, very like he couldn't handle it. So
yeah,
obviously you don't expect him to dive right back into it. So that's why it's good. We have someone that's why that's his internal challenge. Like
yeah.
usually I wouldn't do this, but you know what? Today is the day. Like no, we're going back. We're gonna do this now.
Even with the douchebag in there. What was his nickname?
Which douchebag?
Was the guy with the blonde hair? What was
Oh, yeah. That would
uh
be that's kind of like the oh, you didn't watch the first one. That was I got his name here for you. A
what was his nickname though?
his
Hangman? Hangman.
hangman.
Hangman. And the thing is, like, it made sense why he wasn't chosen because he leaves his teammates hanging, and everything had to be so methodical, right? So, but anyways, you know what? I love the characters they had and everything, and I just think that um, they ran with a simple concept and they executed it perfectly. It's just like because even like the whole movie is based around one mission, training, getting to know each other, little conflicts though, but they just kept it at that same simplicity. So like for the movie of that level with the actors they had though, it's tough to keep it simple and they did it very perfectly.
Hmm. Absolutely. It did a lot of references to the old film too, which I really appreciated. Showing like the piano song, same piano song that he played with his dad and stuff, which the film references, right?
Old scenes, old pictures, etc.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess, like we do all the time here, fun fact again. And so
It's
Tom Cruise
very
didn't want
funny.
to, he wanted to do minimal CGI. And then, so most of the scenes in the flight jets are real in flight, filmed in flight. And like they gave cameras to the actors and they basically had to operate the camera and while they were up there. And then Tom Cruise also fucking creates a 3-month training program for the actors who are flying these planes to get used to flying these planes. It's fucking insane.
Well, the movie is basically a flex on like the planes they have and what the things they can do on it and life of being these pilots. But it was a good flex, man. Like,
I mean, they
it was
have the
a,
money for it. He has the money for it.
but it
But
was a really basically like in short. I know we're talking about it. We're looking at it from like a overview of like the movie, the acting, and everything. Essentially, we said it earlier too that wanting to join the army now is that the movie's a flex, and it was a really good flex though. Like, you know what?
but but
Yeah,
like you don't really notice how important these things are. Like this level of commitment. You know what I mean? Tom Cruise. I mean, personally, I don't even like really love the guy. I think he's really good. I think he's really good.
yes,
But I don't watch Tom Cruise films usually and go like, "Holy fuck, he blew me away." But I appreciate. I think with this film, and obviously like a lot of his films, I know the Mission Impossible films, he does crazy shit all the time. So this is not news. But man, when I just see commitment like that, having him go through this shit, having them train and when I see that level, it does I feel like show in the film, even though you might not notice that it's showing in the film. And they also the actors that are flying in the planes, they got to They got to create their own call signs. So they got to choose their own call signs. So Miles
Okay.
Teller chose Rooster because it's within the same family as Goose.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was kind of
Rooster, goose, geese, duck.
yeah.
Because you can't go duck lower to the ground. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up now. Gonna give it a good rating and then give our sayonaras.
Solid 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, eight's a good number.
8 out of 10, just like most of the films we've done with these Oscars, they seem to be 8 out of 10s. I mean,
They're there for a reason, and I think what we're trying to do is kind of making sure is that why you would want to watch them. And I think, in short, a simple, great paced, great action movie that you'll not disappoint that has to be watched in IMAX.
only IMAX?
Well, that is that IMAX, right? When you get the chair moves and everything.
That's D-Box.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, then watch it in that.
I don't know if I like D-Box. I feel like it's too distracting.
Dude, the whole movie's meant for that.
But you know what? This movie, I could see it potentially being a huge success in the D-Box when you're shifting, left, right in the plane.
Come
Dun,
on. Yeah.
dun,
That's
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no, I can see it being good.
or this movie needs to be in like this movie needs to be kept in like amusement parks with a D box. Like
Oh,
in any amusement park with a D box, like hey,
yeah,
top now showing Top Gun.
yeah.
So yeah.
But fucking that Tom Cruise, man, he's so cool, eh?
He's so cool though.
When
Everything
when
is
he when he when no one can do the mission in like under 3 minutes and he just fucking comes out of nowhere. Yeah, we're
he's,
gonna do the mission right now, and he was not even supposed to be there.
he
He got
steals a
sent home.
plane. He steals a plane for to do it too.
Bro, the man is supposed to be at home. He's not even supposed to be there. Fucking shows up. Hey, what's going on, ladies? We're gonna fucking do this mission right now.
But you know what? I
And he
think
does in like 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and you're just like, fuck, you're so cool.
I think his main thing was that no person is expendable, right? But the U.S. Army was like, hey, like, if you have to make sacrifices, we'll do it. We just want to get this mission done. I think that's the whole conflict. The major one is that I don't want anyone to die, and for that we'll make sure
Yeah.
what I have to do.
Well,
Make sure.
especially Rooster, right?
Yeah.
That was a big thing. Like, we have a character here who has lost his friend, who he feels strongly responsible for. And now compile that with losing his
His son
son,
too.
like that's something that Tom Hanks' character can't live with. Simply
Tom
can't.
Hanks. Tom Hanks.
Did I say Tom Hanks?
You just say Tom Hanks. So
Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise. That's something Tom Cruise's character can't live with, right? And there's there's that conflict where he either doesn't let him go in the mission, which he'll get pissed off at him, or he lets him go the mission, but he's gonna die. You know. But yeah, what's your rating? What rating did you say?
8 out of 10, like you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. This. If you like action films, this is one. This is
This
one
is
to check
this
out.
is this is the one.
Yeah.
This is
You
the
got
one.
you got you got Jennifer Connelly, Hans Zimmer, Tom Cruise, Miles Teller. I don't really know this director, but he did a good job.
You did a great
Joseph
job.
Joseph Kosinski. Just quickly click on his name here. He's known for uh okay, he's known for what's he known for?
Top Gun Maverick.
Tron Legacy, Oblivion, Only the Brave. Okay, so he's done some stuff. I'm not too familiar with him, but he did a great job. And Val Kilmer, like this movie has so many things. Guys with shirts off and you see their abs for all the ladies listening. Yeah. Yeah.
Sold.